The hero who carried a water bottle, Leo, was just a regular kid. He didn't like loud things. He didn't like being the center of attention. Leo liked quiet places, soft voices, and calm days. He wore his favorite red cap almost every day. He had a little blue backpack. And in that backpack, it was his water bottle. It wasn't fancy, it wasn't magic, but Leo took it everywhere. To school, to the park, even to Grandma's house. Some kids at school called him the water bottle boy. They didn't mean it in a mean way. They just noticed that Leo always had it. But Leo didn't mind. He liked being ready. He liked being helpful. Water helps you think, his mom always said. Leo believed her. He liked the sound the water made when it sloshed inside. He liked how cool it felt when he took a sip. And sometimes, when he was nervous or shy, he would hold the bottle tight. It made him feel calm, like a small friend he could always count on. Other kids brought water sometimes, but they would forget or leave theirs at home. Not Leo. His bottle was always clean, always full, always there. Leo didn't think he was special. He just liked being prepared. But one very hot day at school, Leo's little water bottle would do something big, something helpful, something kind, something heroic. And on that day, everyone would learn that small things can make a big difference. Even a water bottle. It was Thursday morning. The sun was hot and bright. Leo walked into class. He wore his red cap and carried his little blue backpack. The classroom felt warm. The fan was broken. The windows were open, but no breeze came in. The teacher looked tired. Some kids were already fanning themselves with books. Leo sat at his desk and took a small sip from his water bottle. It was still cool. He smiled and held it tight. Later, during PE, the heat got worse. They played games outside, but not for long. Some kids sat down early. They felt dizzy or tired. One girl said, "My head hurts." Another boy said, "I feel sick." The coach said, "Okay, everyone, let's stop and rest." The kids lined up to get water, but when they got to the fountain, a teacher said, "There are no more cups. We ran out." Some kids looked upset. Some walked away, still thirsty. Leo looked at his water bottle. He still had plenty of water. He looked around. His friends looked really hot and tired. Leo stood up slowly. He walked over to a small group of kids sitting under a tree. "Do you want a sip?" he asked. The kids looked surprised. "Are you sure?" one of them asked. Leo nodded. "Just a sip," he said. "I've got enough." He opened the bottle and passed it around carefully. Each friend took a small drink. They smiled and said thank you. Leo felt good inside. Helping felt nice. He kept going. He walked to another group, then another. "Just a sip," he said each time with a small smile. Leo didn't do it to show off. He didn't do it to be a hero. He did it because it felt right. He still had some water left, and he was happy to share. After recess, everyone walked back into the classroom. The room felt even hotter than before. Some kids were red in the face. Some looked sleepy. The teacher walked in last. She looked tired too. As she walked to her desk, she didn't see a skipping rope on the floor. Her foot got caught and she tripped. "Ah!" the class gasped. The teacher fell to one knee. She didn't get hurt, but she sat down and held her head. "I'm okay," she said, breathing slowly. But she looked dizzy. Leo quickly stood up. He walked over to her and held out his water bottle. "It's clean," he said softly. "You can have it." The teacher looked at him and smiled. She took the bottle and drank a few sips. "Thank you, Leo," she said. "You're a thoughtful one." Leo nodded and sat back down. He felt a little shy, but also proud. Later that day, the school speaker turned on. Ding dong! The principal's voice came through. "Students and teachers, we are experiencing a heat wave. Please stay indoors during lunch. Make sure to drink water. We must all stay safe." Some kids looked worried. "What's a heat wave?" one asked. "Will we be okay?" said another. The teacher said, "It just means it's very hot. We'll stay cool inside." Leo stayed calm. He hugged his backpack and smiled at his water bottle. At lunch, everyone stayed inside. The lunchroom was too full, so Leo went to the library. A few younger kids were there too. They looked tired and a little nervous. Leo sat with them on the carpet. He took out his water bottle again. "Do you want a sip?" he asked gently. The little kids nodded. One by one, they had a small drink. Then Leo picked up a storybook. He read out loud in a quiet voice. The kids listened closely. Some even smiled. Leo didn't talk much, but that day, he said a lot with kindness. The day kept getting hotter. In the hallway, one kid sat down. His face was pale. "I feel dizzy," he said. Another kid had a nosebleed. A teacher helped him get to the nurse. The nurse shook her head. "This heat is no joke," she said. "We need helpers. We need to check on all the kids." Leo heard her. He stood up right away. "I can help," he said. The nurse smiled. "Thank you, Leo." Leo went classroom to classroom with the staff. He carried a pitcher of water in both hands. He also kept his water bottle in his backpack just in case. In each room, he looked around. Some kids were fanning their faces. Some looked sleepy. Some were very quiet. Leo gently poured small cups of water. He made sure everyone had a drink. If a teacher needed water, he gave them a cup too. He was careful. He was quiet. But he did not stop. Some kids looked at him and asked, "You're helping everyone?" Leo nodded. He gave a small smile. "One bottle at a time," he said. He didn't ask for anything. He didn't want a sticker or a prize. He just wanted to help. He didn't like seeing people too hot or tired. He didn't want anyone to get sick. When the pitcher was empty, Leo went back to the nurse's office. He filled it up again and went out once more. All afternoon, Leo kept moving, room by room, step by step. He didn't speak much, but his actions said a lot. Teachers noticed, students noticed, even the principal saw Leo walking by with the pitcher. But Leo wasn't trying to be seen. He just knew. If he had water and someone needed water, then he should share it. That's all. After school, something surprising happened. A van pulled into the parking lot. It had big letters on the side. Local news, 2 people stepped out, a reporter with a notepad and a camera person with a big camera. All the kids stared. "Why are they here?" someone asked. The principal stood near the front door smiling. "They're here for Leo," he said. Leo blinked. "For me?" he whispered. The reporter walked over and smiled. "We heard a story," she said, "about a small hero with a water bottle." Leo looked down at his shoes. He felt shy. "I'm not a hero," he said softly, but the principal stepped beside him and spoke kindly. "Leo quietly made sure no one was left behind today," he said. "When others were thirsty," he shared. "When others were tired, he helped. He didn't wait to be asked. He just cared." Leo held up his water bottle. It was almost empty now. He looked at the reporter and said, "It's not magic. It's just water." He paused. "But water helps people." The reporter smiled. "That's a great answer," she said. "Leo, what made you do it?" Leo thought for a moment. Then he gave a little shrug. "I just thought, if I can help even a little, I should." He didn't ask for a prize. He didn't want a medal. He just wanted people to feel better. That night, the school sent a newsletter to all the families. At the top, in big bold letters, it said, "The hero who carried a water bottle." Under it was a picture of Leo, smiling shyly, holding his bottle. His mom smiled when she saw it. His dad gave him a big hug. Leo smiled too, but not because of the news, not because of the words. He smiled because all day he got to help, and helping felt good. The next morning, the sun was still hot, but something was different at school. Leo walked into class with his red cap and his little blue backpack. His water bottle was in the side pocket, just like always. But this time, he wasn't the only one. Half the class had brought their own water bottles. Some were tall, some were short, some had bright colors, some had fun shapes. A girl had a bottle with stars on it. A boy had one with a robot sticker. One friend said, "Look, Leo, mine has a rainbow." Another smiled. I remembered to fill mine up at home. Some kids even shared water with others. If someone forgot their bottle, a friend said, "You can have a sip of mine." "Just a little," someone added, "like Leo does." Leo looked around and smiled. He felt happy, quietly happy. Even the teachers had water bottles now. Some kept extra bottles in the room, just in case. One teacher said, "Leo gave us a smart idea." No one was hot and dizzy that day. No one felt left out or too thirsty. Leo didn't stand in front of the class. He didn't give a big speech. He didn't want a special badge or clap. He just smiled and sat at his desk. He looked at his bottle and thought, "I didn't start a trend. I started a habit. A good habit. A kind habit. One that helped everyone. And it all started with one thing. A small act of care. One bottle, one boy, one quiet hero. And now, a whole class of helpers." Leo zipped up his backpack. He felt calm. He felt proud. Not because people copied him, but because they learned from him. Helping didn't have to be loud. Sometimes, helping just meant being ready and being kind. That night, after dinner, Leo went to his room. He took off his red cap and unzipped his little blue backpack. Inside was his water bottle. It was almost empty now. He placed it gently beside his bed. It wasn't glowing. It didn't beep. It didn't say a word. But to Leo, it said something special. It reminded him of the day, of kids who smiled, of teachers who felt better, of the stories he read to the little ones in the library. The water bottle was just a bottle. But Leo knew the truth. Heroes don't always wear capes. Sometimes they carry water. Leo smiled to himself. He didn't need a medal. He didn't want a big prize. He felt proud because he had helped, even if it was in a small way. That night, he fell asleep feeling calm and warm. His bottle sat quietly beside him like a little friend. The next morning, the sun came up again. It was another hot day. Leo woke up, stretched, and yawned. He got dressed, packed his bag, and filled up his water bottle. Click! He closed the lid tightly and zipped it into his backpack. Then, before he walked out the door, he whispered to the bottle with a small smile, "Let's help someone else today." Moral lesson: even quiet kindness can ripple through the world. You don't have to be loud or wear a cape to be a hero. Being ready to help even with something small can make you a real-life hero. Tadio, subscribe for more. Inspired by small acts of kindness? Subscribe now for more meaningful, magical, and heart-centered stories for kids. Follow for more. Follow for uplifting children's stories, everyday adventures, and lessons that help kids grow into compassionate heroes just like Leo.